Alright, this is about take 4 because I'm having trouble wording myself today. This is another video. In this video, a fair heads up, I don't fix anything, I don't do anything amazing. It's a talking, bloggy type video. If that's not your thing, probably try one of my other videos or even a different channel if that's your thing. However, if you're a subscriber, you'd recall my airshow video where I attended my museum and worked hard and dealt with many thousands of patrons and visitors that came through also while attending the airshow. That left me a little bit burnt out, so I needed some time off. So this video is a bit of a blog about the time off. Some things of note, I had already had my 8-wheel drive hitched up to my camper, so I took the whole lot in one go because I was too lazy to unhitch it. In this area, there is a boat ramp that has access onto a river that's adjacent to a beach. Now, technically you shouldn't be driving vehicles on the beach here, and somebody did and got stuck. So I did make a few attempts to try and help them off the beach, but in the end I decided that it was going to be easier to call someone else. And nobody wanted to help. So I've had to leave the scene. I may go for a drive today and find out what happened with that. But yeah, we still don't know. So it'll be interesting to see. Anyway, let's get on with the video. But yes, as I said, keep in mind this is a talky video, not much of a doing video. So keep that in mind when you watch this video. But let's get on with it. Well, the air show is done and dusted. Anzac Day is done and dusted. A whole bunch of other stuff's done. It's time to get out for a bit. So, I'm taking the taking the 6-wheel drive ambulance and the 8-wheel drive Argo, the amphibious thing. Taking a few days off. But yeah, I've got a fairly unprecedented 3 nights away from my apprentice, which got all my love and care and respect for her. She's a handful. So I'm going to make the best of being alone. And being Asperger's syndrome and also post-multiple sclerosis, it's I do tend to get overloaded and overwhelmed and all the rest. So I do enjoy my own company from time to time. So I'm going to relax a bit. I'm going to a caravan park, one that I go to fairly often. But they're wonderful. They really look after me. And yeah, so it'll be worthwhile, I think. Anyway, let's hit the road. Alright, so we're here. And I just realised I haven't got a lot of headroom since I swapped these seats around. The new cushion's got a bit more foam in it. So we need one of these things. And we're going to get through the boom gates. But yeah, I had some credit here. I was going to stay for 2 nights and they give me the 3rd with no extra charge. I'm not sure how, but they managed to work it out. They're really looking after me. Come on, I don't want to ride this clutch. Come on. Yep. The gates. Alrighty. We're on site. My favourite spot. I think they've put me at number 38, which means I can drive in and drive out. I'm going to my favourite spot around here. This is a nice park. It's upgraded in the last few years, and it's really, really good. But either way, they look after me. I keep coming back as a result. Now, in order to line up on this site, I've got to pull a bit of a dodgy. Right, that's my site there. Because I've got such a long wheelbase, I need to come around this way. Hopefully not chew up the grass with these tandem tyres on the back. Gonna need first gear. One first. My bed level. Alright, and that puts me right near the power head. I do it right, I'll be in range of my short lead. Alright, well, we're settled in. So if you're new to this channel, you're probably asking yourself right about now, what does this guy do? Well, as the channel name might suggest, I fix a lot of stuff, and generally stuff that my apprentice breaks and stuff that just breaks down as a course of wear and tear, including Land Rover, Argo, electronic stuff, you know, pretty much everything that comes my way. Do a little bit of firearms occasionally too, but YouTube is funny about firearms stuff, so I tend not to show that. And so yeah, this video I'm thinking is probably going to turn out to be a fairly bloggy one, talking more about mental health and stress levels and stuff like that. Partly because I am so exhausted this time, I don't know if I can do a full episode. I do have my drone and all my cameras with me, so if I do get some energy back, then yeah, I'll do that. And I've got 3 nights here now instead of the 2 that I'd expected, so there might be room for some additional content, or if I get some energy back, I don't know. Anyway, I'll talk to you about everything that's going on, and but primarily I'm going to spend a lot of my time here not talking and resting and trying to be alone, because I am at saturation point with people and emotions and multiple competing demands, I think is the term that employers use. So yeah, I'd like to have some time that I can plan and it won't get interrupted, which is kind of what I'm here for. It certainly helps to reduce the stress, and as you can tell, these guys always look after me. They've put me on a pretty much people-free area of the park, which I'm happy. This is my favorite spot, so and they know it and they look after me, so it's all good. We'll see you probably about food time. I think we've actually got real stuff to cook this time, so we'll see you then. Alright, it's meal time and the mozzies are starting to come in. I have to put some mozzie coils up later. On pretty much all of my previous videos, I've cooked in this boiling vessel here, which is still running nice and hot at the moment. I'm going to keep that hot for now because I'm going to make a couple when I'm done. But I'm actually going to try and cook a real meal this time, and I actually can, well, if you go anything by my wife, I can actually cook. So I'm going to try and cook something decent. I've got a chicken schnitzel tonight, I've got an egg, I've got some cheese, some salami, and I've got this nice garlic infused oil. So I'm going to have a crack at a barbecue chicken parma or something like that, and hopefully it comes out all right. But see what we can do on the barbecues. Now, one of the more respectful things you can do is make sure the barbecue plate stays clean. Now, in a lot of places, you know, they provide cleaning stuff. You can see there's a lot of stuff burnt on here. These things are not much money, and they're absolutely magic. They're basically just a sheet of Teflon. You roll it over your barbecue like that, and when you're done, you peel it up, take it inside and wash it. The barbecue plate is clean. Communal areas like this, it is an absolute must. Now, these ones are gas-fired ones, so they heat up real quick. So I'm going to go and wash my spatula and stuff before I start, then we'll get cracking. Alright, so you push and hold till it starts flashing apparently. It's a bit ironic because the finger covers the light, but it's bright enough it shines through your finger. This stuff is some nice garlic infused oil. You don't need much of these Teflon plates, it's like non-stick cookware. That's garlic infused extra virgin olive oil. It's good stuff. I'm gonna wait for this to get a little bit warm first before I put my chicken schnitzel on, fresh from the butcher's. All right, and I'm gonna let a little bit of this soak into the breadcrumbs, because that'll just help them crispy up a little bit later on. It's gonna be like a nice garlic parma. Right, we've been cooking for a little bit, a couple of minutes. Here's the controversial bit, when to flip it. I usually flip it a couple of times. Most people say I only flip meat once. This works for me, and it's usually cooked through, and to be honest, it's chicken, so I'll make damn sure. But I want a crispy side before I start melting the cheese and the egg on it. Got it with that eggshell this time. I did good. Salami's pretty oily. On a Teflon sheet, we tend not to need oil. You would probably on a steel pan, but you don't really on the Teflon sheet, and it'll go nice and crispy. I've got to say one thing on these barbecues, the temperature is set actually just about right. It's not quite right for making really crispy stuff, but you wouldn't want to be doing snags if it was. The egg I'm going to push off to the side a bit, keep it cooking, but we want this guy in the middle. I just flipped it again. I'm going to flip one more time when that underside's a little bit more crispy and put my egg on there. So we're going to melt a slice of cheese on here. I'm going to whack our egg on, which egg, there we go, and it's about right. You can go on there. I'm going to whack another slice of cheese on here. I could have probably done that in the other order. These guys are going to go on, and that will be an appetizer on the side. Best I can do for the bush cooking tonight. Now, because I'm cooking out in the field and not at home, food safety is a big important thing for me. I want to make sure this is cooked through. And that looks pretty good. That was a bit that felt a bit soft. That looks about right to me. So I think it's time to serve up. Get our gourmet serving implement. Oh, there we go. Turn our barbecue off. I think that will turn off. That's off. We'll let this cool off. We'll peel our thing off and we'll come back. Alright, now this is the point at which I realised I should have brought a steak knife. What have we got in our cutlery set? Mostly plastic stuff, so sort of decent plastic stuff, so let's see how that works and cut into it. Have a decent meal. The salami might be a bit of a challenge for these things. Oh no, not too bad. Get our cheese, our egg, the salami. It's cooked through quite nicely. So they've got that garlic flavour infused through the whole lot. And it's not overwhelming. It's sort of a nice mild garlic. Certainly the whole caravan or the whole camper smells like it right now. Anyway, I'm going to eat this and we'll move on. Well, that was a decent meal. Flies agree too. So, gonna do some cleaning up, make a cuppa. That'll be me done for the night. Hopefully in the morning I will come up with some kind of a plan about filming and we'll figure out what we can do. Anyway, stop staring at my dirty pan. I'm gonna go wash it. Be back soon. Alright, it's time to wind down. Everything's clean. I'll be heading for the shower soon. Before I head for the shower, I got Rat Pack Chocky, which is supposedly gluten-free and stuff as well. We'll pull the knob out. And yeah, we get a bit of hot water out of it. Now last time I added chocolate, like blocks of chocolate to this. Somebody said they had a hypoglycemic attack just watching me. So I'm just putting some sweetened condensed milk in it this time. I can't have you guys blood sugar spike and watching me channel. Anyway, that's actually quite milky enough. I'm going to enjoy this and I'm going to go to sleep and figure out what sort of action-packed stuff we can do in the morning. Alright, well, it's about 5 in the morning. Not sure if you can hear that, but I don't think I'm going anywhere for a little while. I think I'm going to be hiding out in here. It's raining heavy. It's blowing hard enough that it's rocking this 4-ton vehicle around. So yeah, I think I'm going to be hiding in here. I'm glad I shut all the hatches and put the tarp up yesterday or last night. Or sorry, at the start of the night. It's 5 in the morning, so I'm not real awake. Anyway, I'm going back to sleep for a few hours, and I'm pretty sure this is going to blow over looking at the rain radar, but probably going to take a bit. Alright, it's about 8:30. We're going to open the door and see what happened, and I'm going to turn off the projector here. Alright. Feels like it stopped raining. What do we got? Yeah, it definitely rained a lot. I'm glad I tarped that thing up. Alright. Alright, well, much has happened since the last clip. I went for a walk and I've done nearly 2 kilometers of walking, which is more than I've done in a long time, and both legs are numb. So it's MS at work here. I found the park office sells lollies because my lolly stash has been heat affected, and these are a good psychological lift. All the good stuff. And where's my lolly stash? Up on the shelf behind us here. This is my previous lolly stash my wife put together. These are all heat affected. These are the rock solid ones or the gooey ones, so I will swap them into the bag and put the good lollies in here. I also ran out of tea bags last night, so I found some bushels, which will do the job, Blue Label, and I found mint sliced bickies. That'll help. The kettle is hot. I've topped all that up, so we'll open that up, make a cup of tea in a bit. It's come out nice and sunny, and it's a cool wind, which is why I can walk so far, because problems with me is with heat affected stuff. I may go for an expedition today. I'm not sure, but it's a bit windy for the drone today. I had planned to do some further reconnaissance with drone, but I might not. It's also, this is very much a mental health trip, so I'm not stressing myself. I'm not working to a time frame. I'm not trying to create an action-packed video. This is all just doing what I need to get my head straight, and I'm videoing this because there's a lot of people out there that don't get it, that don't understand that sometimes you need to do what you need to do, and it's not selfish. It's this whole mentality of look after yourself so that you're capable of looking after other people. Sometimes it's not a common sense thing. My wife, for instance, in her upbringing, it's not been taught to her that you should look after yourself so that you are more capable. It's been taught that you give everything you've got to everybody else, and then once you fall on the ground, that's the only time you're allowed to stop, is when you're hospital worthy. That's what she's been taught. And you know, and to be honest, I've never really learnt, well, in my earliest relationships, I was kind of taught that all men are evil, basically. You know, because you're male, you know, you're going to be in some way negative all the time. There's no possible way that I could be a good guy. And it's taken me close to a decade, or more than, geez, it's getting on to nearly 2 decades now, to realize that actually I can be male and a good person. And so yeah, I'm trying my best to look after myself so that I can be a better person to other people. But it's things that I don't see guys talking about all that much, and to be honest, it needs to be said. So I have a whole host of issues, and most of them do have a psychological cost as well. So there are times where I need to negotiate with my partner and my family and go, hey, can you give me a hand out? And yeah, So it's actually worked out really well. I've got 3 nights to myself. This is pretty well unprecedented, but communication matters. I see so many relationships where people don't communicate, or they communicate poorly. I took a really simple approach, and I just state how I'm feeling. I go, hey, I feel angry, I don't understand why, I need to do something about it, I don't want it to affect you guys. The moment I say those things, everybody's willing to help, and I get a little bit teary sometimes because I've spent so much of my life trying to help people, trying to fix things, and I'm in a situation now where somebody is there that I can trust, and they actually have the same drive to help me. But communication is the key to making that work. You just got to talk. And sometimes I think in the past I've tried to do that with other partners, and we just weren't a good fit, I don't think. But that's what the communication unraveled, was that the relationship wasn't really working, and we went our own ways in an amicable fashion. So yeah, it's still painful, but you know, it could have been a lot worse and a lot nastier. Anyway, I'm gonna have a real cup of tea with some chocky bickies and probably some real breakfast, because at this point I had a muesli bar and a lukewarm cup of tea this morning. So yeah, I really want something good. Anyway, we'll see you in the next bit. Alright, so a little bit's happened. I've been taking the advice of my neurologist, trying to keep active and trying to keep fit. I managed around about 2 kilometers of walking today. Normally beyond about 100 meters I start to experience some sort of complication. Well, my right leg here is, according to my brain, doesn't exist anymore. So I've had to stop. I went for a float in the 8-wheeler, basically my mobility aid. Went up the river about 1.5 kilometers, and I've come back. And I stopped in to get some fish and chips, which created quite a bit of a stir when I show up in the 8-wheeler. I'm not sure if it's obvious from my face, but I am absolutely knackered. It's only about 1:30 now, but I think I'm about done for the day. I put the drone up yesterday when the conditions were nice and still, and I took a number of vertically down shots of the park. I'm going to play with some image stitching software and see if I can stitch in a nice big map for them in nice high resolution. I did it all at maximum resolution, which I think is about 35 megapixels, something like that, and it shoots in RAW, so I should be able to stitch all that together and make a fairly nice combined big map that they can get printed somewhere in quite a high resolution. But anyway, I'm going to I think I'm gonna hit the pillow for a bit and zonk out for a few hours. Be back in a little while. Alright, well, the sun's going down. I had a massive headache after my endeavours before, but I have been playing around with making mosaics. I found an obsolete copy of Microsoft Ice, which is image composition editor, and I've been taking some aerial photographs with my drone and having it stitch them all together. So I'm going to crop this into something nice and present it to the park owners as well, so maybe they can get it printed on a large form factor print. They've got an aerial photograph of the park, but it's at an oblique. I've got a couple now that are directly overhead. I haven't violated airspace. I've stuck under my 120 meters. But yeah, I've got some usable photos here, and this is coming up at 199.47 megapixels. So decent size image. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to have dinner soon. We might do another cooking thing then. Alright, we're back at the barbecue again. And it's a quiet night tonight, and it's quite a bit cooler than last time. There we go. Alright, so we're doing really basic burgers tonight. Now we're going to do a bit of bread. Now, I had considered doing the bread on here French toast style, but there's a toaster inside, so I'm going to cheat and use that. Now, a little bit of garlic oil. Not too much for these things, they don't need it, but I want a bit of garlic, so saves me actually bringing garlic. Nifty little thing. Most butchers put plastic to stop your burgers sticking together. Generally a good idea to remove that, because I can tell you now the taste of the plastic is just a little undesirable. Alright. Now while that gets warm, I'm going to go inside and wash my hands. I'm going to say these are smelling pretty good actually, but I like my eggs well done too, so it's probably about time to do a couple of eggs. Alright, not as talkative as I was last night, a bit cold. And by rights I generally don't get cold, so I must be tired. I'm going to try and listen to common sense advice here and just do the flip once method with these, if I don't get it stuck to the egg in the meantime. Non-stick stuff everywhere has its problems, and particularly when you're using utensils. And I like my eggs done through solid, so I'll put them in a little earlier in the process, so they should be done right through. And then I've got the universal seasoning that makes everything good. No cup of tea tonight. I'm going with magnesium and potassium in an electrolyte, and probably 3 times as much sugar as there is everything else. How are my eggs going? Not too bad. These guys are still a bit soft, and then a bit more time. Alright, stuff's starting to feel like it's almost done. Check these guys on. Probably almost time for me to go do a couple of slices of toast. Will probably be about right. I'm going to run inside, put these in the toaster. Got 2 slices, and I'll do 4 all up. Alright, my eggs are done to the burnt to a crisp stage that I like. I'm going to assemble halfway through here. While our toast going, we'll be ready to assemble fairly shortly. In fact, I think we need any more heat on this. The residual heat will probably do the job. I'm just going to wait for me toast. Alright, fresh toast. Got a bit of olive butter here. It's basically just hydrogenated olive oil. It's kind of like fancy margarine. Number 1 here. And number 2 here. Alright, a little bit of seasoning. I know it's a bit hodgepodge, but you know, let's get the other 2 bits of toast. Alright, luxury for me is having a table and chairs to eat with. That's unusual. And there's actually even a working TV with a remote that's not chained down. Not that I care much for free-to-air TV these days, but we're going to see what we can do. Anyway, time to eat. See you after. Alright, so it's about 8 o'clock at night now, and that overcast sky we saw this afternoon has actually gone away. It's a beautiful clear night. You can see beautifully with the stars. It's very still. It would be an ideal night for long exposure photos, but I'm not going to go out and do it. Part of it is because I've just been showered, I've just got nice and clean, I've accumulated some thermal mass, and it's about 9 degrees Celsius at the moment. That normally doesn't bother me, but when I'm a bit tired and a little bit run down, the cold does tend to bother me a bit. But generally speaking, I don't change out of shorts until 0 degrees Celsius. Either way, I'm not going to go and do it. And part of it's kind of an important... Alright, that was an interesting thing. My GoPro battery went flat. Luckily I have like 7 or 8 of them. I've chucked one over in the tangle of wires over there that is the charging area. And so I'm not sure where I was at with this particular conversation before the battery went flat. And I thought I charged that up earlier today. Anyway, I'm not going out to do long exposure photography of the stars. Why not? Because I don't want to. Now that sounds like a very simple justification, but in my brain, and I'm not sure if it's Asperger's syndrome or if it's other people, but I tend to set goals and tasks for myself, and then I feel obliged to carry through with them, as if there was something massively important depending on me to do those things, when in actual fact I've made a hypothesis that these things will help my mental health, and then I've gone, well, my mental health is important, and then I push myself to go and do those things. I've had to take a change in recent times and realize that sometimes I don't have to do what I've told myself to do, because the outcome can be achieved a number of different ways. That's why I haven't gone nuts with the Argo, although I'm formulating some ideas of what I might like to do. I'm not going to make mention of that yet. I'm going to do a bit of homework overnight. But yeah, I could go walking tonight, but I'm here for another night. So if the stars look interesting tomorrow night, maybe I'll go and do that. The other reasoning is the moon is not up tonight. At least not at the moment in a convenient time. And I don't want to be up at like 2 or 3 in the morning when the moon comes up. But that is also the astronomical event that was referenced to me as the planets are passing in front of the moon and stuff at the moment. I'm going to have to look up exactly when and how that is. I haven't done that, so I'd be wasting my effort really, and I'd be stressing myself out to go and do that. Here it's taken me, what, nearly 4 minutes to explain to myself why I'm not going to do something. But this gives you an idea of the things that keep me awake at night. And I would expect there are some other people out there that probably do. I am realizing these days that whilst I know mentally I'm very different to a lot of people, I'm also very similar to a lot of people. And actually, this whole emotion thing, whilst I experience it, quite often I experience the same things as everybody else. And that's a strange thing for me. So yeah, I just seem to be able to rationalize it in a different way. Anyway, enough ranting. I'm going to go and put my projector on. In fact, I'm going to push the button right now, and then I'm going to turn the main lights off, and we're going to get comfy. I think we can probably do that. Yep, we can even do shadow puppets in the way here. And that's my GoPro shadow puppet there. It looks a bit like a rabbit almost. Anyway, this is probably going to be it for the night. I'll talk to you in the morning, or if some crazy weather event happens in the middle of the night that wakes me up. Alright, so it's the next morning, and I haven't even had my cup of tea yet, and I think probably I'm a little tired, even though I've just woken up, and I'm facing somewhat of an existential crisis. I'm not sure if crisis would be the word, but that's a phrase that conveys sort of what's going on with this inner conflict. I'm on a location where my brain says I should avail myself of the opportunities while I'm here. At the same time, I'm a little bit tired, and I'm going, but that seems like effort, or it's, yeah, it's I don't know, my heart's not really in it. And on top of that, there's been some changes to rules and stuff around here that I wasn't aware of last time, or some changes to laws and property boundaries and stuff like that. So what I would really like to do, I'm not quite sure if I'm actually allowed to be doing. And of course, if I'm going to do that and I'm going to film it, I want to make sure that I've dotted my I's and crossed my T's. So until further notice, I'm not doing that. I thought about getting the drone up and doing some more mosaic shots, but there's a slight bit of wind. I feel like I'm finding excuses not to do it, and I've had to have a sit down and think why I'm really here. And I'm here for my mental health, to relax and to rest. And if I sit here stressing about not doing relaxing things, it's a bit counterproductive. So I think I'm going to have a cup of tea, some chocky bickies, and sit here for a bit. I know this is not my usual video. I haven't fixed anything aside from maybe myself, and I haven't really gone anywhere or done anything action-packed. So, yeah, and I even brought the 8-wheeler with me, which is kind of adding a little bit of pressure to the situation. I know that if I drive somewhere nearby, I'm going to want to take it, and if I take it, I'm going to want to use it. If I want to use it, I'm going to want to probably cross certain boundaries that I don't know if I can or not. So, it's possibly better if I don't take it anywhere. That's me trying to be the responsible adult here. My youth has kind of left me behind in that regard. So I think I'm just going to relax for a bit, if that's even possible. This is one of the whole reasons I'm here. Anyway, we'll try again later. Alright, so I might have started a turf war. Thought I'd be friendly to my favourite little baby magpie here, who's been following me around and waiting at the toilets for me all the time. And so I just finished breakfast after sharing with the local magpies, and they followed me across over here. Now they're hiding out by the door waiting for me. Archers, I can't have a piss in peace. Waking me up, even when I had the door closed, even hopped up under the doorstep here and come and wobbled to me to wake me up this morning. But now there's a couple of families have got involved over my leftover chips, and yeah, I'm not throwing too much out, but they've been getting salami up until now. Now they're having a bit of an argument over the whole thing. Maybe I need to stop putting chips out. Yeah. It's an interesting turf dynamic out here and territory. Well, it's the end of the day and we're getting some really nice sunsets. I put the drone up and got some photos. I'm not sure if I'll remember to put them in here. Anyway, it's time for dinner, and cooking dinner generally requires a lot more effort than if I was to go and do it at Rat Pack style. I'd just chuck that in the cooker. Anyway, I crashed out. I've wasted pretty much an entire day, aside from making a 500 megabyte mosaic JPEG of the whole area, which is huge and is exceeding the 8 gig of RAM I have on my laptop just to get it in memory. So it's something like about 220. Wow, it's tiring. It's between about 220 and 250 megapixel. Actually, I can probably check up on the dimensions. We're here. 12,841 pixels by 40,179 pixels. A total of 515 megabytes at 100% quality JPEG. Lots of zoom on that. Anyway, let's go make some food. Alright. Cleaner was in, come and clean the barbecue today. It's better than it did yesterday, even though I didn't add anything to it. Alright, what are we doing tonight? Well, we've got some garlic and herb snacks. Crap, I've got 4 of them. It's going to be a big meal. Alright. Yeah, I guess we'll get this fired up. I've got the last of my bread. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that tonight. And I've got 3 eggs left. So I'll definitely do some snacks. I've got some cheese as well. And I've got some salami, so I might do me 4 snags and me salami and try and use that up. I might save the bread for breakfast. I'm going to use garlic oil because that's what I've got. I'm getting garlic on everything. And these, I think, are garlic and herb sausages. I hope they're actually separated because I didn't bring a knife with me. In fact, I didn't bring any cutlery with me. Might have to go and do that while they're cooking. Alright. Yep, they're cut. That's good. I will have to go back and get some cutlery. Oh, there's a couple there that aren't separate. What joy. I don't even have so much as a butter knife with me. Well, I cocked that up, didn't I? Alright. A little bit of oil going on here while things are warming up. Oh, yeah, definitely get a bit of oil on them. Go in there. Right, I'll let that warm up. I'll go and find something to cut things up with. That's okay. Got a nice, good old sharp knife up here. There we go. Done deal. I'll give that a wash later. Alright, and I brought back my mini tongs and some cutlery. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to cook snags. There's going to be nothing fancy with what I'm doing here. Alright. Geez, that's going to be a fair bit to eat. I might do one in bread, or how many slices of bread? I've got enough bread for breakfast with what I'd normally have, so I plan on doing a light breakfast. I'll save that. A little bit of cheese with them maybe, but I've got some eggs to do as well, so it might be just snags and eggs and a bit of salami tonight. Yeah, because I've got to use up this sort of stuff before I leave, and so yeah, we'll be back once these are cooked a bit and I'm putting the salami and the eggs on. Alright, just as I start filming stuff and my eye starts twitching. It's the time of night where the bugs get in there. Probably midgies. If you've ever had a midgie in the corner of your eye, it's not pleasant. If you're asking about these meal trays, by the way, as somebody did, this has got the Department of Defence 45 stamped in it, I assume 1945. All of these have got different colours and stuff painted on the bottom. I don't know where they come from. I got 3 of them at surplus. And then I think they're Simpson with an S on there. So I don't know, they might be genuine ones. Anyway, I'm waiting for my cup of tea to boil. And I don't want a lot of salt on this because I've got lots of salt and everything else, but just need a little bit with the egg. Alright, I don't think I'll need pepper because that's spicy salami and that's milk for my cuppa. I'm gonna eat, talk to you after. Oh, I opened the back today and my buddies are still waiting for me. They've taken advantage of my free offerings. Wonder if I've got something else I can throw out. Anyway, I gotta start packing up soon. Alright, so I'm gonna turn our boiling vessel on because we're awake and we're gonna want a cuppa. Do something a little bit different this morning. Largely because I've got some eggs left and I want some for breakfast. Normally I'd put these in a bag in case they crack and they contaminate the water, but last day here I've still got access to water. I've got a jerry can full as well, and so yeah, I can change that out and wash it out easy enough. So we'll leave that go till it's boiled for probably about 10 minutes or so, and because I like them nice and hard boiled. Alright, it appears I'm having some battery problems with this particular GoPro. I've got several of them. I've got a what's this, a Hero 9. I've got another Hero 7 which is on my helmet cam, and I've got that little DJ Osmo. Anyway, eggs are on the boil. I'll let that go. I'll put the lid back on in a minute. I've got some cheese to use. Last day here. Got a couple of slices of bread and stuff left. That can go. Just going to try and use up the last of my perishables and have some breakfast. And I'm not really wanting to go home, but I kind of have to. I'm going to pick up my apprentice this afternoon. But we may have time to take a dip in the river and have the drone follow me if the weather holds out. So hopefully that will work. Alright, so I've offloaded my trail cam that I left up watching my seat last night. And I've come up with some interesting findings here. And this little guy show up. Pretty sure he's a cat. Potentially feral, which is not great in a coastal area to have your cats out at night because they'll assassinate the local wildlife. But there's something more concerning I saw further on in the night. Oh, that's our cat for the second time. I'm doing this on a touchpad, bear with me. I'll put these up actually on screen if I remember. So you see over here, we've got a fox. That's quite concerning that you've got them in a coastal environment like this. that is not a real good sign for the environment. So yeah, and this is a fairly fully fenced area, so there's only a couple of ways they'd be getting in, and that leads to the thinking that we know where they're getting in, and that puts them in a place that's actually kind of bad. So yeah, not great news, but that is a problem for a lot of Australia, is foxes, feral cats and rabbits. They are causing untold havoc on our native wildlife. Alright, so yellow light is flashing on the boiling vessel. It's been for a few minutes, which means it's boiling. That probably means my eggs are going to be about right. Alright, we want to do this. Where are we? See if I can get them out with these non-stick things. Alright, cool, turn you off. I'll boil the kettle over there, I think, over at the kitchen, and make myself a cuppa. I think I'm going to have a nice camera-free breakfast today, because I'm a bit over recording stuff now. Alright, I'm going to go have breakfast. Better. Never leave your fingers in there. You'll get them busted off, or worse.
A few moments later.
Alright. Now I'm beginning to realise why they changed a couple of rules here. Some people got themselves stuck trying to put a jet ski in on the beach. So we're going to see if we can help them out. I'd be calling a tow truck about now. I would be calling a tow truck about now. This won't get it out. Okay. That's not going to get it. We're not budging. I'll give her one more shot, but she's not going to budge. Good. No. No, she's not going to budge. Not with this thing. See how we go with this one. Oh, there goes that strap. Glad I didn't want that back.
3 hours later.
Okay. Looks like it's time we departed. Let's have a chat in a sec.
guy is not coming out. Nobody wants to help him. He's stuck solid. By the time anybody reasonably can get here to help him, it's going to be underwater. What's up, my GoPro battery's about to go flat too. This is the one that's been having battery problems all day. I'm going to stop into... Oh, he's going... Oh, somebody's got a backhoe. Well, that might help him out. But not my problem now. So I did my best. I've arranged some help. The authorities are aware. Time to exit the scene. Alright, catch us in a bit. Alright, so I've just had to pull up on the side of the road because my trailer brakes were smoking. Alright, so I had a funny smell on the way back, and my brakes on my trailer are stuck apparently, and they're cooking their ass off. Now I just come down a steep incline, so I wonder if that wasn't just the override brakes doing their things and getting a bit hot on the incline, because it hasn't really had much of a run in a while, this trailer, but I'm hoping the brakes aren't stuck. I also adjusted this clutch up the other day. Now when it gets hot, the clutch gets kind of tight. So, and I pulled off at the primary school here on the way home, and turn and circle might not be enough for me to turn around. Let's see. Or maybe just. It's designed for a bus. Might just make it round. Whoa, every bit of that 18 meters I need. Alright. So, doesn't feel like the trailer brakes are on. It's not clunking around like it does when they're on. So maybe it was just the downhill and it was riding the brakes for the whole trip down. But we're not far from home, so I'm going to try my best with that. Alright, so I'm back in town, and definitely that clutch pedal needs adjusting. Again, down a little bit this time. The brakes have cooled off in the last section, but it was nice and flat. So I think the smoky brakes were just a result of that downhill run, which is quite steep. And I engine braked most of the way down there, so I think that's probably what cooked me brakes. Yeah. Stop off to pick up my apprentice, and then we can conclude the video. I made a purchase on the way home too. Bought myself a new strap and some bow shackles. They're in a box and a bag over there, because I've left my old ones with that bloke. If he gets it out, he's going to need them, and hopefully they'll be of use to everyone else that's trying to help him. I did see a tractor going past on the way out of town. I think I made mention of that, or a little backhoe anyway. It might dig him out. Good luck to him. So yeah. Oh, this truck's going to merge. Alright, we'll see when I pull up. Alright, we've pulled up, and this is probably going to be the closing statements to this video. So, made a purchase. Believe it or not, these are on half price special at the moment. So, I've got the whole kit for the price of what I bought that strap for in the first place. So, maybe a bit of karma, I don't know. But this has got 2 bow shackles and the strap and everything all apparently in it. I'll do that in my donations and deliveries video this month. And I'll go into detail about that. That'll probably be the first thing. About the guy that got bogged. He's still bogged, to my knowledge. I gave him my number, but of course I had to leave. I put him in touch with the some people that could help him. I'm not sure if insurance is going to cover it for him, but we don't know. We recovered his jet ski. Minimal damage to that. His trailer's got a bent drawbar. The back of the vehicle is a bit messed up. The quarter panels are bent. If they don't get that out of there tonight, it's going to be toast. Once it goes, it's going to go underwater where it is. So yeah, couldn't help him. So yeah, and he was a bit disappointed that I wouldn't take the 6-wheel drive Ambo onto the beach. But I would probably get this stuck. Well, I've got the winch that'd probably get him out. I'd need help myself to get off that beach, and it means I wouldn't meet deadlines here. The knock-on effects would be significant. So while I like helping people, I would probably end up stuck myself and unable to help him as well. So it's a bit counterintuitive to not help in that situation, but we did everything else we could. I got the 8-wheel drive out, we dragged him out. Some of the locals got their 4-wheels out. I donated my snatch strap. I made phone calls. I hung around as long as I could in case one of the other helpers got stuck, so that I could help them get unstuck. I did some drone surveys. I looked out and looked up the tide times and stuff like that. So did pretty well everything I could without risking my own stuff too much. And I've still got to check up on whether I bent some of the hitches on the back of the bloody Argo, but we'll look at that another day. Anyway, in terms of the mental health, I feel a bit more rested. I have explored the altruistic side of my nature this afternoon. I was a bit worried that I'd dragged the Argo out there for nothing, but given what happened this afternoon, that isn't the case, so I was able to help a bit. Made a few new friends. I donated a rat pack to somebody who will apparently be a new subscriber. You'll probably be seeing this video. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Don't know what else I can say. It's been a bit of an unusual video, this one, but mental health wise, it's certainly helped. And it took a good 3 days for me to unwind, but that was the idea. Anyway, we're back to standard home life now. I've been yakking for a good 3 minutes now. That tends to be a turn off for some people, but that's what I do. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video. No idea what it's going to be about, but yeah, I'm putting content out there. So I'll see you as soon as I figure out what else I'm doing.